Have you ever had that vacation where you come back, you step on the scale, and you've gained 10 pounds in 2 weeks? Then the next day, you're feeling so guilty, you want to restrict yourself, so you do a bunch of cardio, you try to slash your calories in half to lose the weight you gained while traveling. This is the case for most people, and this used to be my case as well. But over the last 8 years, I've actually been able to get leaner and achieve this transformation while living in 2 countries and also traveling to over 20 countries over these last 8 years. I lived in Spain for a year, and I also lived in Chile for 6 months. I've been all around Europe. I've been to Asia, Canada, Mexico, South America, and I've still been able to get fitter, healthier, and into better shape each year despite those travels. We also just went on vacation to Europe in March for 2 weeks. I left the country at 109 pounds. I came back at 109 pounds. I maintained my weight while eating out for every single meal, enjoying pasta and wine and fun things in moderation, and only working out 4 times in 2 weeks. So it's not the traveling holding you back, it's the habits you have when you travel. So in this video, I want to break down how you can maintain your progress while traveling and still enjoying your trip. Because no, you don't gotta bring your food scale and track macros while you're on vacation. First, let's explain why most people fail. We have something called the all or nothing mindset. If you think you can't be perfect and get in every workout and track your macros and be on point with your nutrition, you think, well, what's the point? Can't do it anyways. I'm just gonna start over when I get back. That exact mindset is why you've been stuck. You have the perfectionism mindset. So when you can't be perfect, you just throw in the towel. But the truth is, it's not all or nothing, it's all or something. Just because you can't hit every protocol, get in every workout, be on point with your nutrition, doesn't mean you should just say screw it and give up. Because this is a lifestyle. You do not need to be perfect in order to get lean and build muscle and lose body fat. For example, my client Gabrielle travels for work. She is a flight attendant. She's down almost 20 pounds. And I've had several other clients who also go on vacation, who travel, who have trips, birthdays. That's gonna happen every single year. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to make this your lifestyle. Just like one bad meal is not gonna make you gain 20 pounds, eating one salad is not gonna make you lose 20 pounds. It's about your habits that compound over time. A lot of the times I see women fall into this trap of, well, I just wanna enjoy my trip. I wanna enjoy my vacation. And sure, you're valid for thinking that, but who told you that living a healthy lifestyle can't be enjoyable? Back in 2017, when I was living in Spain for a year, I'll put a picture right here. This is actually when I let myself go, and I was enjoying. And by enjoying, I mean completely letting myself go, drinking alcohol all the time, eating whatever I wanted, and having no boundaries, and I gained a bunch of weight. I started to feel really uncomfortable in my body. I had no energy, I had no confidence, I felt very weak, I felt out of breath going upstairs, and I started to hide behind baggy clothing. So girl, let me tell you the hard truth. You're not enjoying that trip. If you're unconfident in your body and you're unhealthy, you can't even be present in the moment. You're constantly worrying about how you look. You don't want to wear a bathing suit on the beach. You're trying to hide behind people in photos. You stare at the pictures you took on vacation and you think you look disgusting. Is that truly enjoyable? I enjoy my life so much more now that I am healthy and confident and I've lost the weight and I just have a much better lifestyle. My client Sarah is another great example. She is down almost 50 pounds in our program, working as a busy occupational therapist in grad school, getting her master's degree as well. And she told me that she was spending money on a lot of things like online shopping, getting clothes, going on trips and vacations, and she would be in these beautiful places, but couldn't really even enjoy them because she was constantly thinking about how she looked, didn't want to take pictures, couldn't even wear the clothes that she got for that trip with confidence. So now that we've talked about the mindset, let me actually get into some tactical tips of how to stay on track while traveling, whether it's for work, vacation, trips. Part 1, we are breaking down nutrition. While you don't need to restrict yourself and do a diet, you should also not view your vacation as an all-out binge and eat whatever you want every single day and push the limit. We need to at least have some structure with our meals. So on vacation, yes, enjoy the fun foods in moderation, but I always tell my clients, you want to focus on nourishing your body, focus on protein, prioritizing protein, and eating food that makes your body feel good. Whether you're staying at a hotel with a breakfast buffet, or maybe you don't have a kitchen and you need to go to a cafe to get some breakfast, always get something that has protein. For example, you can get eggs for breakfast, you can get chicken at lunch, and you could get steak at dinner, and those can be your protein sources. Protein will help you feel satiated and full. It helps with recovery, and it's gonna help you feel fuller so you don't overdo it and binge. Versus if every morning on vacation you have a croissant and a coffee, that's a lot of sugar, that's no fiber, no protein, not satiating at all, and plus you get that sugar crash afterwards. So yes, enjoy the croissant as well, but pair it with a high protein breakfast with fruits and veggies and actual nutrients too. Number 2 is to focus on portion sizes and also slow down your eating. In Italy, we had so many fun foods. It was super tasty. I got pizza and pasta and wine, but the issue with people is the portion sizes. There's no actual food that will cause weight gain, but if you're overdoing it, you continue to eat even when you're not hungry anymore. That's when you got to set a boundary. So when I'm eating out at restaurants, I will stop before I get too full. I simply push my plate away. The waiter can come and take it away if you want, and I just enjoy the moment. That's also what trips and traveling is about. It's not always about food. You don't have to be so food focused and alcohol focused. Be in the moment. Enjoy the moment. You're in this beautiful place, country, whatever. It's not just about food. If you want to enjoy some fun desserts like a croissant, a cookie, a hot chocolate, or whatever, you can maybe share it with someone. If you're going with your partner or a friend or a family member, maybe they can have half the cookie and you have the other half instead of you having the whole one. The next part is about setting boundaries like I was talking about. If you're traveling in Europe or just anywhere in the world, of course there's gonna be food shops on every corner, there's gonna be cafes on every corner, and when we were walking around Spain and Italy, of course they've got cafes with croissants and hot chocolates everywhere. We were walking around getting our steps in, which I'm gonna talk about as well, but I set a boundary with myself. Do I have to get a croissant at every single cafe? Do I have to get dessert at every single restaurant? Sure, maybe once in a while, but does it have to be every single time? Just because it's in front of you doesn't mean you have to eat it. Now let's talk about hydration, because if you're traveling, especially if you're on vacation, I understand that there might be some alcohol involved, and hey, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a couple glasses of wine or a fun drink at a beach club somewhere, but you need to pair this with hydration, especially when you're traveling. You're holding on to more water, you're out of your routine, your sleep schedule isn't the same, you're eating atypical foods, you're probably holding on to more sodium. So in order to flush out that excess water retention, you got to make sure that you are really doubling up on the water. When I travel, I love to get those giant plastic liter bottles and just fill it up and take it with me everywhere. At restaurants, they're always refilling my water cup because I am downing that water, and I recommend for every alcoholic beverage you have, you need to have 1 glass of water with that. Now let's say you're going on a road trip or something. You can bring snacks with you. Just because you're on a road trip doesn't mean you have to go through the drive-thru, you have to get the worst thing on the menu at a fast food restaurant. Bring some snacks with you. You can take things like protein bars, protein shakes, beef jerky. You can even make your own sandwiches if you're gonna be on the road for a long time. I did this during my prep journey when I was prepping for a bodybuilding show. We had several times that we were on the road. We actually moved states during my prep, and I brought my cooler with me in the car with some meals. It's not that hard to stay disciplined. It's just about making choices that align better with your goals. My next point with nutrition is learning how to track macros. And no, I don't mean you need to track macros when you're on vacation, but I will say the education and the knowledge and the skills that you learn from tracking macros makes such a huge difference. Back in 2017, when I was living in Spain for a year, I did not know what macros were. I didn't know how to eat to maintain my weight. So I overate and I put myself in a surplus unintentionally, and I gained weight. Now when I travel, I was in Europe for 2 weeks and didn't gain a single pound still while going out to eat. It's not because my metabolism is crazy and my genetics are amazing. It's because I've learned how to eat to maintain my weight. How? I've been tracking macros since 2018. It's a skill that you get very good at. If you are weighing out your food every day, you get really good at eyeballing portion sizes. If you weigh out 4 ounces of chicken almost every single day for a year straight, how much better do you think you're gonna get at restaurants looking at the food portion sizes and thinking, okay, this is probably about 4 ounces. I've got my protein here. I've got my carb here. You start viewing food differently. And after you've been on this lifestyle for a while, you're fit, you're healthy, your body actually has a new homeostasis, meaning it would be really hard for me to gain the weight back because of where I'm at. I've maintained the weight loss for a few years now. I would really have to eat way over my maintenance calories and really try to gain weight. So even though you don't need to track macros forever, I always tell my clients the education and the skills and the knowledge that you learn from tracking macros stays with you forever. So when you are put in situations and places where you're maybe not necessarily tracking, you still know how to portion size your own meals, and it really helps you stay on track without gaining the weight back. Now let's talk about section 2, which is how to approach your workouts/movement. Now you don't need to stick to a perfectly regimented routine when you're on vacation, but I will say moving your body helps so much. I personally love to get workouts in when I'm traveling because it makes me feel better. When you're sleeping in and you're eating all this food and you're binging and you're drinking alcohol, you feel like crap, okay? Which we can have some of that, right? But you also need to keep up this healthy lifestyle year round. Newsflash, you can get day passes at a gym. I have worked out in Madrid, in Bali, in Puerto Rico, in Hawaii. Everywhere I've been, I have worked out. There's hotel gyms, obviously, which you can get in a quick 30-minute session using just dumbbells, or you can get a day pass in a city or somewhere. And honestly, there are so many cool gyms all around the world. I think it is so fun to try out new gyms. Working out honestly doesn't take that much time. You can literally do a 30-minute session in the morning before you go explore and go about your day. And again, just because you can't get all of your workouts in doesn't mean that you should just not work out at all. When we were in Europe for 2 weeks, I only got in 4 workouts in that 2-week time period, but I'm so happy that I did because it just makes me feel better. It's also a great helpful tool to kind of stay on track because you feel more motivated and you just feel better after getting that movement in. And maybe it's not a weight training session, but you can at least go for a walk, go for a jog. Which brings me to my second point. You can do activities besides drinking and going out to eat, especially if you're somewhere in like a tropical destination. There's so many things you can do. Paddleboarding, swimming, snorkeling, scuba diving, hiking, going to see waterfalls, like go on excursions. Or if you're somewhere in Europe, like a big city or New York or something, you can walk everywhere. When we were in Europe, we were walking all over the place. So you'll definitely get movement in and getting those steps in. Remember, it's not all or nothing. It's all or something. I've even had clients bring bands with them. You can do banded workouts in your hotel room. But if you're in a big city, I guarantee you there's a gym probably 5 to 10 minutes away from you, or maybe 15 or 20. You can also take the stairs whenever possible. Just because there's elevators or escalators doesn't mean you always have to take those. Point is, move your body, do some sort of activity, fuel your body properly. You don't need to be perfect, but just focus on living the healthy lifestyle. My last point with this is if you truly want to get lean and build muscle and lose body fat and maintain a lean physique year round, you've got to do these habits year round. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to track macros on vacation. You don't need to work out every single day, do an hour of cardio every day. That's not the point. The point is this needs to become your lifestyle if you want to reach your goals and maintain them long term. You can't just do this thing where you start and stop and start and stop and you get in this horrible cycle of losing 10 pounds, gaining it back, you lose the weight, but you can never keep it off. If you've lost weight before, but you gained it all back, you didn't actually reach your goal. You don't actually know what you should be doing, because if you did know, you would maintain that weight loss. And it's about keeping up these healthy habits, learning how to maintain your results even when you are not perfect. You don't need to follow a meal plan when you're traveling, but again, you focus on protein, you focus on your portion sizes, staying hydrated, moving your body, and also remembering not everything needs to be so focused about food and alcohol. You can live a fun and happy and healthy lifestyle while being lean year-round without restricting yourself. You don't need to show up to restaurants with a meal prep container, but you do need to have some sort of boundaries and habits in place if you truly want to maintain this physique year-round. That's what it's all about. You don't have to choose between vacation and your dream body. You can have both. It's about nourishing your body, it's about taking care of your body and not jumping from one extreme to the next extreme, binging for 2 weeks and then restricting yourself when you get back. That is a very toxic cycle to be stuck in. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. I have a goal of getting to 5,000 subscribers. And let me know in the comments, which trip are you taking next? Because I'm actually going to Miami next month, okay? We have trips and travels coming up all year round. So if you keep waiting till the perfect time to start your fitness journey, honey, you're gonna be waiting the rest of your life. If you wanna see an in-depth video on my fitness journey where I also break down my travels and how I still lost the weight throughout these last 8 years, then click on this video here and I'll see you in the next one.